Ladies and gentlemen, we are live as this is the main event you've all been waiting for. Brought to you by Exonius, the cybersecurity asset management company. It's time!
And it is time for Hacking eSport. So welcome to another episode of Cloud Security Podcast. And I am super excited about today for two reasons. One, I've got two of my recently made friends come in who introduced me to this whole concept of eSport and cybersecurity. So I am looking forward to introducing all of you to this as well. As always, if you guys have any comments or have any questions for the guests coming in, feel free to drop them in the comment or the live chat window on the side. But I'm super excited. So I've got my music queued in. There's a bit of an interesting story with the music as well. We'll get into that once we start the thing. So. Oh, welcome. Wait, Igor, by the way, welcome, Igor, welcome, Magno. Igor, you need to tell the story of the song, man. So why this song? Because actually, you're a singer as well, or a rapper. What would you call yourself? Like a casual rapper?
I don't know how to explain this, man. I just think a lot of different things, and I think, hey, I want to do this. So this is what I explain myself. Magno know me better, and he know that I'm exactly this way. Like, hey, I want to do like a hacking championship. Let's do it. Okay. Hey, I want to do a happy music. Let's do it. And it's like this.
Oh my God, it's so cool though, because you're probably my first guest who has their own song. Actually, no, this is the second guest who has their own song played. I had another person. This individual is from Capital One. He's like the director, and he has his own band that they tour. I think they tour West Coast or something. So they had their song played out as well. So there you go. I'm always glad to bring in new artists, and this was really amazing. But before I get super excited about this, and I obviously would want to get the audience to know a bit about yourself as well. Magno is a return guest, but I'm going to start with him first. If you can tell a bit about himself, and then we'll get to you for the long intro, Igor.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Magno Logan, right? I do a lot of cloud and container security research. I'm part of the CNCF tag security team as well, and I've been doing a lot of research regarding Kubernetes lately. And yeah, that's what I'm here for, and happy to share. I'm part of the UHC as well as a commentator on the live stream, the English live stream. And yeah, we're gonna be doing some cool hacking and demos here tonight.
Pretty awesome, man. And Igor, just your intro as well, man.
Okay, so my name is Igor. I have some experience with offensive security in my background. And someday I was in my house and I think, hey, I want to out some like CTF challenges and CCTF championships on internet. And I start to search on this, and I figure out that they don't have anything like this, like people narrating CTFs. And I came like to some friends and say, hey, let's create this one. Like we can call them UHC, Ultimate Hacking Championship. And now we are here to explain what we are doing.
Awesome.
That's it.
Awesome. And as I was clearly trying to make multiple things work together, this is what happens. But so I just wanted to add, because I'm going to try and add our Twitch stream as well, because I'm surprised that it didn't just get added. But for people who may be coming in for the first time, actually, you guys have your drink as well, man?
Yeah.
Cheers. Oh, look how good we are. We're all having water, I guess. That's how amazing we are.
Water or vodka? I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, but that could work, man. So I'm gonna quickly try and add our Twitch stream as well, which for some reason
last time I was drinking on your channel, it caused a lot of trouble.
Really? Oh yeah, fair enough, man. I think I'll give you that much. We obviously don't want to get you in trouble, man. So I think I should be able to add my Twitch. And sorry, while we are waiting on this, do you want me to just share your screen as well? Actually, there you go. I've got my Twitch. Yes, I've got my Twitch. So you guys should see me on Twitch as well, by the way. I think we're on Twitch as well. I'm gonna Twitch. We should just work.
Could you please share your Twitch channel here with us on the private channel so I can rate for there?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna. While we're doing this, so for people who are confused as to what we're doing, we are trying to have the. Actually, so maybe this is a good time while we are doing this. Magno, do you want to, or Magno or Igor, do you want to talk about hacking eSport and why Twitch is a thing?
Okay. Do you want to go, Magno, first?
Go ahead, Igor. You know more than me.
Okay, so hacking sports didn't even exist like a year ago. We start all this thing when I was like producing content for Twitch, and my Twitch streams was mainly about hacking machines. So I was like doing some live hacking some try hack my machine, hack the box machines with my folks here in Brazil. And then we are like, hey, I think that we are making the same here. I don't want like to actually hack machines. I want to set championship of machines like being hacked. And I started searching for these things on the internet. I found like some articles saying that this could be a thing, but no one was doing this around the world. And I was, hey, let's start to do it. So we planned it. The first edition was a shitty edition because we didn't know how to do it. So like we just developed some challenges on AWS. And the first question that we have is, hey, how can we select people to play with us here? And we start to do like some random things like on the internet, like, hey, let's choose this one here to play with us. And was like a lot of mess. And then we start to learn with our mistakes and start to do like some qualifier rounds and final rounds. And now we beat this company called Hacking Sports. And the mission of this company is to turn CTF hacking in a game style with eSports elements. So we have like some goals. We have like some really big goals. For example, to have UHC final in some years in a really big arena, like in Las Vegas and things like this. We want to have like UHC on the Sport TV. So we are like working to do it. But we have to do it step by step, right? So now what we did on this specific season, we planned like 10 finals online. So tomorrow we will have like the second one that will be our second finals that goes online, and we will have 10s on the same format. And in these finals we will have like 10 people that is selected to play the presential the in-person final on next year on July. So here in Brazil we will have our arena that we prepare with a lot of people playing. And I don't want to give so much spoiler about it, but all the event will be hackable. So if you want to drink some beers, you have to hack to bring your beer. If you want like to escape from a specific room, probably you have to hack some Raspberry Pi that's connected to a EC2 instance, like to get out of the room. So we are planning like a really cool event here in Brazil based on this hacking spirit and to propagate more things about it. And one thing that is really cool, and I want to thank you for inviting us to be here, that all these things that we are doing, we are using cloud environments. So this is really helping us a lot, because we are like not a rich company, so we have to improve our costs, and cloud environment are helping us to do this a lot.
That's pretty awesome, man. I think I'm so glad you introduced at least the beginning story as well. Sounds like it's a beginning of a music video as well. Your music started like that, the hacking esports started like that, but then suddenly, hey, this could be something. So I'm glad you guys started doing the hacking esport, and having been the host with Magno on one of those, the English one. But by the way, hello to the Brazilian crew as well, because we have a lot of Brazilian folks who kind of come in. They were on Twitter as well. Actually, yesterday I messaged yesterday, and like a few people reached out. There's people from Brazil coming in. Like, yeah. So it'll be pretty awesome, man. I think I'm pretty sure I am looking forward to introducing to a bit more wider Brazilian audience as well, the hacking esport. Because when I was there, and I think I almost thought when Magno mentioned about this, like it's almost like UFC. And that's why when you mentioned Las Vegas, I'm like, oh yeah, that would be pretty cool. Maybe even the Fight Island or something. You can even go to like a whole island, just do the thing that they do in UFC during the COVID period. Just go to the whole Fight Island, and over there, you just have like this entry to island is only if you can hack or something. But anyway, I don't want to drop ideas into your mind. But I wanted to hand over to you guys, but I just want to make sure you guys are on the Twitch thing now. So you got to see that. So are you able to rate it, or you can take over that stream if you want? And
I'm rating one channel now, and I rated the second channel right now.
Awesome. So, and over here, do you want to share a screen, or because it's gonna go to both YouTube and Twitch? So, because the raid would just take over Twitch, it would not take over YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's only on Twitch.
So how do we do this in here on the YouTube? So share your screen as well, because that's pretty much what it would show, right?
I didn't get it.
No, sorry. So what I'm saying is, like, how there's two streams going. I think we're the YouTube and LinkedIn is video stream, which would not get rated by our Twitch. There's a Twitch stream which is already rated. Mm-hmm. For the other stream, we would have to share screen over here. That's why we were trying to share a screen before.
Yes. So the raid is just directing people from his channel on Twitch to your channel, right? But everybody's going to see the same thing. So once we share the screen, everybody's going to see the same thing.
Oh, really? So if I go on YouTube now, oh wow, there you go, man.
I think Igor, you can start sharing your screen and talking about the hacking sports and UHC history a little bit, and then we can do a demo later.
Oh, I love it. All right, there you go. I learn something new every day. It's on the YouTube. It's still showing. For some reason, it's still showing. Unless I did something wrong, it's still showing us talking.
Yeah. I think if you go to your Twitch, you're gonna see the only thing that he's doing is he directing people from his channel to your channel on Twitch, basically.
Well, there you go. I learned something new. Thank you for introducing me this to Igor. What else have you learned, man? It's like so cool. It's like you're rating channels. This is like I should probably warn people. I'm clearly not a pro eSport person. Just saying. I'm gonna hand over to Igor, and who's in capable hands.
Yeah, man. In my humble opinion, I think that Twitch is the future of communication. People are saying that, hey, YouTube will replace TV, but I think that the ones that's gonna replace TV is Twitch. And the main reason because of this is because in Twitch you have a community. For example, if I'm doing some live hacking on Sunday, I can do like when I finish my live hacking, I can just raid another content producer that is starting, and people with the same interest will have like access to another content. And here on Twitch, we have a lot of things that could help the content producers. For example, you can do donations, you can do subs, and this is really cool. I remember that when I started to producing content for Twitch, I came an idea to my mind that, hey, I think that I want to do this for the rest of my life. Probably I can make the amount of money that I need to live here, and like people start to donate for me like a lot of money. Like, hey,
oh really?
Yes, like, hey, don't get out of here. Like 1,000 reais, 2,000 reais, 3,000 reais. And I was like, what the fuck, man, is happening here? And people are really enjoying. And here in Brazil, this is like a lot of money. So I was like, hey, we build a community here that is helping content producers, So Twitch, I think that Twitch is doing this in a really good way. And I think that we have to have more technology people doing this for us here, because Twitch is mainly known because of games like League of Legends, Counter-Strike, and things like this. But I think that we have to bring more technology for Twitch. For example, cloud contents, cloud CTFs,
Yep.
machines being hacked. I think that we have like a lot of space to propagate this type of content.
I think so as well, man. That's a pretty awesome intro as well for this. I'll let you take over though.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Igor.
Okay, now I'm here.
Okay.
It's because I use
Stream
this microphone, you know, and I'm tapping a lot here. So,
right.
so folks, this is the UHC, the Ultimate Hacking Championship, and this specific event here have a goal. Our goal is to turn hacking CTF as a eSports style. I don't know if you know this, but esports around the world is a really serious thing, and you have like to be big enough to be considered as a esports style. For example, I don't know if you know this, but in a lot of countries around the world, we have chess as a esports style, and we have people playing chess on Twitch, and we have like a lot of brands sponsoring people playing chess on Twitch. So it is like a really big market. People playing chess on Twitch and receiving sponsors for a lot of brands around the world. So when we start to do HC, we think, why not? Why we can have, for example, I don't know, Trend Micro or Microsoft and companies like this sponsoring CTF as a esports on Twitch. So we start to think about it, and we say, hey, let's do it. So now that we build UHC, our main goal here is to deliver a mission, but in this goal, we have like some sub goals here. What we saw here on UHC in the past editions is that some people here in Brazil that don't have the condition to do a graduation.
Did we lose Igor?
I think we may have lost Igor for a second.
Okay. Yeah, he's frozen here.
Yep. Well, we'll just wait for him to come back. Unless
Sure,
you want to
no
message him
problem.
in Discord.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just following up while he gets back here. Yeah. So they started doing this kind of weekly championship with CTFs, and what's cool about it is that they build new challenges from scratch every week, right? And so it was really interesting because we had a friend of ours, Carlos Vieira Cadu, who was the mastermind of those challenges, and he was just basically doing that by himself every other week, right? And some people start joining and helping as well with new challenges, and that became like kind of a thing that we did every week until last year, until the beginning of this year, that we're doing every week. I joined them around October last year, and basically what I did was okay, like I'm learning Kubernetes and Kubernetes security. How about we do a Kubernetes challenge, right? At the time, I haven't heard of any CTF that had a Kubernetes challenge. So it's like, okay, let's try and do that. And the first one was really easy challenge for Kubernetes. And so like was basic stuff, just accessing a cluster, getting some secrets and all that stuff. But since the participants never heard of Kubernetes and they didn't have any knowledge, right? So they spent the whole 3 hours understanding Kubernetes and reading the documentation and trying different things. And so it was really cool about it. And then we did another challenge in Kubernetes as well, and getting harder, making it harder and harder. And so people know me about from Kubernetes now. So every time I join the stream, they say, "Oh, Magno, what is Kubernetes?" Right? Because even during the stream, I explain them how Kubernetes works and what are the different moving pieces and all that stuff. And I was doing that on the Portuguese streaming, right? So I was helping them there. But yeah, it got really interesting, and I was always joining them either as a commentator or just joining the chat there and helping. And yeah, then Igor invited me this year to be the main host of the English stream with
Yeah.
Marina, and yeah, that's what I'm doing now. And now we have like once a month, which I think it's better because weekly was very tiring for us, because every week
Yep.
we had to build new machines and all that stuff. And yeah, I think Igor is going to talk about it, because like all the infrastructure runs on AWS, and we make sure that it's robust enough to support the amount of traffic that it's going to get from those 10 participants, right? A lot of people attacking those machines and trying to find the flags and exploiting them.
Yep.
So it needs to be robust so that it handles all the traffic and everything. And yeah, so it's really interesting how we do it, and how the cloud allow us to do it in a way that it's not very expensive, and we can build it for just one evening and then take it down, and everything it can be automated. So that's really nice.
Yay!
Yeah,
We just came in just perfect timing as well, man.
yeah. Brazil 101. First reason to not live here. Basic fixture.
Wait, so you guys lost power.
Yeah.
How long do you guys
Bummer.
lose power for? Like, is that like a set time? Because you seem to be back in power now.
Yeah, it's just a peak here that happens here. Like just suddenly shit happens here in Brazil. It's common. We are used to this.
Right. I mean, it reminds me a lot of India as well. I mean, I don't know if it still happens, but when I was a kid growing up in India, but we didn't have a set time. You'll be watching your favorite television show, and just like the power just go off. Suddenly, you're like, oh my god, that was my best part. But you don't know when it's gonna come back as well after that. But I guess you guys know when it's gonna come back.
Yes, sometimes take hours, but I don't know. Probably because of luck, it just take it just 1 minute.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Cool.
it can be just a flick or something, and just just
all right, I'll let you share your screen again, Igor, and we'll continue the conversation.
Okay.
But just letting you know, just to catch you up, Magno did a great job of explaining how Kubernetes became a thing that I guess for challenges. And I think one of the things that I wanted to highlight as well, while people are listening to this, is also the fact that outside of the whole UHC thing, how important this could be for jobs as well for people, like just knowing about cloud native, Kubernetes. Like the future is bright if you guys know this, because there's not many people who know this. Like the maximum experience you find people have 3-4 years. So the people can have an upper hand in this kind of space as well. But I'll let you take over, Igor.
Yeah, so I don't remember what I was talking about, but if Magno was talking about it, I have like two things that I see value on UHC. I think that the first thing is because I don't know the situation of another countries of the world, but here in Brazil we have like some really poor people that don't have the condition to pay for graduation or to pay for certifications like offensive security certification and other certifications, because here our currency is we call reais. And if you compare this to dollar, like our currency is really like bad. So when people try to buy some certifications, they can't. So what I see that we are doing here with UHC is that we are creating opportunities for people that don't have this type of condition to show herself, like to show themselves. Like, hey, I think that I'm a really good skilled people. I play a lot of CTFs on Hack the Box and Try Hack Me and on other platforms. I know about cloud because I use AWS. I know about like Kubernetes because I did my small cluster here. And playing UHC, you can show this. You can say to market, hey, I'm a really good in what I'm doing here. I don't have certifications, I don't have graduations, but I can deliver the work. So just for all the winners in the past editions of UHC has been hired by a company. So like people with like 16 years old, 17 years old, like people with like that. If you saw these people before UHC, they was not like in any another place on the internet. Like didn't have LinkedIn, didn't have like anything. Like so I think that this is one of the good values that we have here in UHC. And then second one is I noticed that when people are trying to learn something, they learn based on people doing right things. For example, when people go to see some videos on YouTube, they want to learn, for example, I want to learn SQL injection, or I want to learn cross-site scripting or vulnerabilities like this. It's just like one people telling or teaching the specific person that, hey, you have a problem here and the A side, and you have a solution here on the B side, and you just have to go from here to here, and you have your SQL injection, you have your cross-site scripting. And when you see the way that you do in UHC, it's just based on errors. It's just based on failure. Because when you create specific challenges and you see people trying to solve these challenges, people with 10 years, 15 years of experience don't know about anything about, for example, EC2 instance, you know? So they are like, hey, I'm lost here. I have to like read some documentation to try to understand what the fuck is this thing here. And this is exactly what happens to us professionals. When you like, we start to learn AWS, cloud native solutions, EC2, metadata, buckets, we don't know anything about this before we start to study it. So this is a really good message for people that is starting to learn some things. That is, hey, don't worry. It's normal to make mistakes. It's normal like to make errors in your life. You don't expect that you like do the right thing in your first time. And if you like go to see some problems that you don't know anything about it, that is not a problem. You just have to study. So this is a really good opportunity that the UHC. So the first one, create a way of people exposing themselves by showing their abilities, don't matter the graduation and don't matter the certification. And the second thing is, this is a event that the way to learn is based on errors, in fails. So is there, what we are trying to bring here is the right way to learn, that is making mistakes. So this is UHC. So we have like a lot of missions. You can go to our website to try to understand what you're doing here. I wrote like these words here to try to make our brand beautiful. I don't know if it's beautiful, but if you have any feedback, just contact me here. And we have like these finals here. Our first, the first person that goes to the finals on the last month was Beagles. I think that Beagles have like 17 years old, right, Magno?
Wow. 17.
Yes, he's 17, I think, either 17 or 18 at the most. Yeah, he's not even.
And like he's rocking, like he's a really good talent, and he started to be known on UHC. So this is really good. So and this finals here, we will have like 10 people that will be qualified for the finals. And then we will take these people, no matter the place of the road of these people live, and we will take these peoples and put on our live, on our in-person events on the next year here in Brazil, in a stadium with all the esports elements. We want to do like a Riot thing, League of Legends thing, you know, but we don't have this type of money. But we are trying to get money to do this, because I think that would be really, really amazing. We have like some information about our audience here, and 38 editions, we have 45,000 people that was watching us. And here's some information about the age, about the education level. But one thing that is really concerning us is this one here. Like 95% of people that is watching us is male. Like, where is the woman? You know, like we are trying to bring more women to watch us, to participate with us. So for this year, we will start like some projects. We are talking with a lot of women from the market to how can we improve our communications, how can we improve our editions to improve this number here. And that's it. That's UHC. If you want to see UHC, we goes live stream the last Sunday of every month from now.
And Igor, how can you participate if you want to play on the UHC?
Sure. We have our Instagram. So if you want to use our Instagram or Twitter, is Hacking Esports. You just have to type on Instagram or Twitter Hacking Esports. And I think that I can show here. I don't know if I can show here. Let's just wait some minutes. I hope that don't. Just a minute.
No worries. Yes.
I'm a security
So
folk.
no worries. Yes, I understand. But yeah, we wanna make sure that these challenges and this kind of competition is available for any gender, right? So not just people from the male gender, but we want to attract and make it so that it's welcoming for people that is just starting or that they don't know yet, or they are afraid to participate because they're gonna fail, and that's, and we want to create a like a space that's a safe space and that they can learn, right? So I think that's the goal here.
Yeah, just for you know, most of the things that people are doing on to try to solve the challenge of UHC, I don't have a clue what they are doing. Like they start like to, hey, I'm writing some serverless code here in my machine. I was, what the fuck is this, man? So I asked the chat to teach me. Chat, could you please teach me what this guy is doing here? Because I'm trying to narrate this thing and I don't have a clue what is happening here, you know? So I think that this is the good thing about UHC. And probably the challenge that they are trying to solve, I don't know anything about it. Probably someone we don't know anything about it, but people is trying to solve based on mistakes, and we learn together. Me, the narrators, the chat, and people that are playing. So this is our Twitch, Hacking Esports. The next machine, the creator is IPsec. So IPsec create this machine for tomorrow. So we will have like the machine from IPsec there. And here we have our Instagram. And if you want to play UHC with us, you have to play our qualifying rounds that starts on the beginning of each month, on the first Sunday of each month. And we will be alerted that we will start the qualifiers on Instagram and Twitch. But just for you know, our next qualifier will be on the next Friday. So pay attention on this.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So tomorrow
Sorry.
we have the semifinal for August, right? We already had the qualifiers at the beginning of the month, and we had selected 10 players to participate, the 10 first places there. But if you want to join the September one, right, you just need to keep an eye on the Twitter and Instagram for the announcement, because it's going to be next weekend. Yeah.
I would definitely recommend this, though, and I think it's funny. Even just watching it, even if you may not participate, I would definitely recommend. I had the opportunity to kind of jump into one of the English streams with Magno. Just to Igor, your point, sometimes you go like, I did not even know that was possible. You kind of go, and these are kids who are 16, 17, and they're going, wow, I'm too old for this shit. It's like so I 100%. I would even recommend just watching it as well. Is like a thing. Like you kind of get to learn so much for how someone would think about a particular thing, and I guess they're the people who are doing commentary as well. So from that perspective, it goes a long way. Sorry, I'll keep quiet. I'll let you continue, Igor.
And in some past edition, we bring like some commentators. They were like, "Hey, here you take a shell. Here you take a shell. What the fuck? Here you take a shell." I was like, "What the fuck, man? This is like soccer, you know? Like it's American football. Like people just narrating with so like emotion on this. Like they will do a privilege escalation here." I was, "What the fuck, man? This is really cool."
Yeah, and we had really great guests, right? Great guests. She's joined us last month, and before that we had Nahum Sack, we had IPsec, we had John Hammond, we had many. Sometimes we bring specific professionals in their own field, and we create challenges around what they do, and so either like Kubernetes or forensics or any kind of stuff, and it's really interesting that they are commentating on something that they know, but they see this kids, basically kids, 18-year-olds, right, doing the challenge, and they do it really fast, right? So sometimes it's even hard for you to keep up and narrate. Like, people joke that sometimes Igor goes like very fast in commentating because you have to keep up, right? So that's really funny. Okay.
That's it. Let's go to our challenge.
Yeah, so yeah, just to give you an overview, I brought as you know, and we mentioned here already, like, all of our infrastructure is on the cloud, and we run everything on AWS pretty much. And so I brought just a small challenge for us to do here today, and this challenge is basically running on a EKS cluster, right? So this is a Kubernetes cluster on the AWS, and on that cluster, I have a node that's running a pod with a web application, right? And that web application, that web application is exposed to the internet, and that web application is vulnerable. Okay, so let me start.
Okay,
sharing.
Magno, so let's get hacker here. So we have to turn our heads to head here. Now we are hackers.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, so let me share the web application, and then I'll share my terminal here. Okay, so yeah, can you see my browser now?
Yep.
Okay.
Using a hacking eSport browser.
Okay, so yeah, as you can see, this is just a regular Drupal web application. It's just an outdated version that's vulnerable to a specific CVE, a remote command execution vulnerability. And you can see that it works. Let me just, I don't know, test, click around it, right? So you can see that it's working. It's just, I just installed this, and basically that's it. It doesn't have anything, but yeah, you can add content, right? Drupal is a CMS application content management system, similar to WordPress and Joomla. Okay, and so this is the website, and basically what we need here from here is just the URL, which I didn't configure anything, but you could configure the domain and make it pretty and anything. But yeah, this is the, as you can see, it's on US East on a load balancer, right? The Elastic load balancer from AWS. So that's how I use to expose the application on Kubernetes, right? I have it running on a pod. And the way that Kubernetes works, to expose that publicly, I need a service to expose that to the internet. And so the service that I use is a service called Load Balancer, which uses the AWS Load Balancer for me to access that. Okay, so that's basically what I need. And I know that I'm going to assume some stuff here. Like, I'm going to assume it's not that I just found this and like I didn't do any recon, right? I'm assuming that we know that this is that I know the URL, and that I know that this is a vulnerable web application with outdated version. Okay, so let me get back to my terminal here, and I'll share that as well. Share. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so here I'm in another box on Amazon as well, and this is the box that I'm gonna use to attack the machine, right? And basically it's just a regular a Linux box that I have it here. So what I used for this is a specific exploit that's available on GitHub, right? So let me just go back from here. So this is the URL. I'm just gonna show you here. So this is the URL from the exploit, the remote command execution vulnerability that I'm exploiting here. If you go to that GitHub website, let me post here on the private chat. Basically, this is exploiting vulnerability CVE 2018-7600, right? 2018, yeah, that's right. It's called the vulnerability. It's called Drupal Gaddon 2. Okay, so basically, I know and all I need for exploiting this remote command execution is the URL of the web application that's vulnerable, right? We have the URL already. I showed you from before on the browser, and basically, I'm going to run the exploit here on that specific URL. I have the command saved here. Okay, I ran the exploit and did a bunch of things, as you can see here on the terminal. But basically now
Your terminal went away, Magno.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, is it back?
It comes. Yeah, there you go. Now it's back. I think you should be able to see it on the screen as well. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I don't know if it was too fast, but sorry, it's gone again.
Yeah, now it's back again.
Oh man, I don't know what's going on.
When you click away, it just goes away.
It's
Okay.
a live thing, man. This happened.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can see that I'm in a pod, right, in a container.
We can see anything, Magno. I'm seeing your pretty background. Now I can see it.
Now yes, yeah. Now you can see it.
When I go back to the browser, you can see it. That's weird. Let me try sharing.
Now it's gone again. Yeah.
Okay. That's weird. I didn't know this was happening.
We see your amazing tent.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep, the back terminal back.
Can you see?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, we're starting from here, right? I'm starting from I exploited this vulnerability, and I got a shell inside this pod or this container, right? And usually that's when things get complicated, right? If you're on a different environment, if it's not a regular VM or a regular server, usually you don't know how. If you don't know Kubernetes or Docker, you don't know what to do, right? And so there are some commands that you can do to just do some recon and see that you're on a cluster, right? So you can do some things like basic commands to just know where you are or which version is it before you check if, okay, I'm really in a cluster or not, right? I can do this uname -a. I can check if there is like which version is it, if there is something, yeah, okay, there's nothing there. I can do just check for the processes, right? Okay. Yeah, so there is basically one process running, right? So that already gives away, okay, that shouldn't be a host machine, as usually they have a bunch of processes running. Okay, but how do I know if this is a Docker, Kubernetes, or anything, right? One of the commands that you can use is checking the environment variables, right? So checking the environment variables will probably give away some information for you. And basically, if you check for Kubernetes environment variables, oh, there is some environment variables here, right? There is the address of my the Kubernetes API server and port and everything. So, okay, I'm probably I'm probably inside a Kubernetes cluster already, right? But yeah, if I'm not sure, let's try something else. Let's download a tool that does a bunch of checks and runs a bunch of commands for you and tells exactly where you are. And this tool is called mi-contained from Jesse Frizzell, and it's available on GitHub as well. So basically, I'm going to run that command here to download and run inside the container that I'm in. So this is the command that I'm running, right? Okay, so it basically, right, I went to the temp folder, downloaded the tool from here, and yeah, executed the tool, right? Gave me permissions, executed. So now you can see that, okay, container runtime kube, right? So I'm ready. I have pretty much 100% certainty that I'm in a Kubernetes cluster. There's other stuff that it checks for you. It checks the AppArmor profile, right? Which is AppArmor is an LSM, a Linux security module that you can enable on your environment. That's not enabled. Capabilities, right? Shows some capabilities that you have inside that environment, inside that container that you are. SecComp right? seccomp is another LSM that you can enable for Linux and containers as well. And you can see the syscalls that are blocked, right? The system calls that are blocked for this environment, right? And I know now that, okay, this is a Kubernetes namespaces, and I have this kind of set of permissions, and these security modules are enabled or disabled. So this give me already a lot of information on what to do here and what can I do. Other things that you can do, right? You can query we saw from the environment variables that it is a Kubernetes cluster, and I can query the Kubernetes API server, right? So let's do a simple query here and see what information can we get from the API server from inside the pod that I'm in, that I compromised. Okay, so I'm querying the API server here, from the environment variables, the host and port, and I'm just checking the version, right? I want to know which Kubernetes version is running, right? So I can see here it's running version 1.20.7, and I can see that this is an EKS cluster, right? If I didn't know already, this is an EKS cluster running on AWS. There is the Go version and platform and all that stuff. So it already gives me some information on what's going on. If I can find some specific exploits for this Kubernetes version as well, I can look for it. So this is already helpful for an attacker, right? And especially for the CTF, we want the participants to learn this, right, to understand this. And it's probably like when it was the first challenge that we did for Kubernetes, they never heard about Kubernetes before or didn't know about it, and so we want them to try this and understand, follow the steps of an attacker to see what they can do. So what happens in Kubernetes is that some of the credentials are stored on each pod. It's called the service account. That's used to talk with the Kube API server, so every pod can talk to it and send information and request stuff. So these credentials are stored on a default directory on each pod, and that is this one here, the var run secrets Kubernetes service account. So if I check this directory, there is some files there, right? There's a certificate, a namespace, and a token. Right. Okay, so let's see what's inside those files. One second. Okay. So yeah. Oh, there is a token here, and there is this is base64 encoded, and if you know a thing or two about JOT tokens, this is a JOT token that it's used to talk, to authenticate on the API server. So that's interesting. And another thing that I can do is check the other file there, the namespace. And if I do that here, I see the namespace web app, right? And one thing about namespaces, it's how Kubernetes uses, kind of organizes its cluster from different projects, right? And you can understand namespaces as folders, and you can have different folders for different projects, so that the developers can work on one project and another team of developers can work on another one, or you can have different namespaces or folders for like the developer developing project, the staging, the developing environment, the staging environment, and the production environment, right? You can do that. It's an option for you. So I know that this pod here, it's running on this namespace web app, which is not a default namespace. It's also someone had to create that for it to run. And I have the token here and the certificate as well. Okay, so what else can I do, right? So I can do more stuff here. Maybe I can install the kubectl tool, which is the tool that's usually the command line to use to communicate with Kubernetes clusters. But let's, before we do that and move on, let's see what we can do with just these tokens. 1 second. So if I query the API of that Kube API server, okay, I see a failure here, right? And that's okay. Yeah, I can see that 403 failure, system anonymous cannot get path API, right? I didn't send any kind of authorization header, and I didn't have permissions, right? So it's 403. And if you get that kind of response that on something that's exposed on the internet, because we talk a lot about not exposing your API server on Kubernetes, right? That already tells you that's running a Kubernetes cluster, right? Because it's a very specific response. Okay, let's try using that token and that namespace that we found there to access to do the same request again. So I'm just storing those in environment variables. Let's see if that's going to work. I'm just storing that on environment variables here so that I can easily query those. And I'm storing the token and I'm storing the namespace. Okay, now I'm going to do the same request, but now using using the authorization token here for sending that to the API server. Let's see. Probably, let's see if let's see if it worked. Yeah, it's not working. Didn't get it there. Okay, so let me copy that token, everything again, and let me do the command again. So instead of token, I'll just paste it here. Live demos, that happens. Okay, so now we get a different response, right? So now it worked and I got a different information, and I see the API versions and I see the CIDRs and internal address of the server, right? Because I impersonated the pod here, and by sending its token to the API server, the API, oh yeah, you're this pod and you have the credentials, and now I can give you information, right? Okay, so what else can I do here? Like when we do this kind of the CTF kind of thing, we usually put some flags on it, right? We want them to find flags and find like specific breadcrumbs. It's usually like a text file or something in the environment variables that we want them to find so that they can submit that and get some points, right? So the first flag that I hid here in this challenge, and it was one of the first Kubernetes challenges that I did, was inside, let's see, inside the namespace, the default, the kube system namespace, which is the main namespace for Kubernetes where the main components are stored, right? So let's see here. Okay, let me copy this command here, 1 second. And then, okay, let's do that. Okay, I cleared this. Oops, no, didn't work. Okay, so I don't have the token, so I need to insert that again. But also the namespace here, I'm gonna do kube system, and I'm gonna do secrets and the token. Are you guys all following along, or you guys, there's any questions, just feel free to ask them. I'm almost done. Okay, let's hope.
You are beautiful, Magno. You're explaining very well.
Thank you.
Yes, it seems like I'm listening to like this TED talk or something. I can just keep listening to you, man. So just absorbing in.
Sure.
This is not a TED talk. It's a masterclass.
Yeah. Nice.
I love it. Yes, masterclass.
Yeah. So so basically on this challenge here, the only thing that I did was I hid a flag as a Kubernetes secrets, and secrets in Kubernetes is a way to store sensitive information. But in Kubernetes, by default, secrets are not really secret. they are only base 64 encoded, right? And so usually it's not recommended to use them by default unless you encrypt them properly, or you can use like a third-party vault system like HashiCorp Vault to store your sensitive information, right? So basically what I'm doing here, what I change on this request, I'm querying the kube system namespace for secrets, and I'm sending that token as my authorization header. Okay, so it gave me a lot of information, right? I can see here the response has a lot of things, or a big JSON file. Let's see if I can find the specific secrets that I'm looking for. Let's see, which one was it? 1 second. If I'm here. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna query for one specific. Let me copy this and add it. I'm gonna search only for the specific secret that I want that has a specific name, and so that I can show you only this information, not a bunch of random text from there. Okay, so the secret that I want is called CTF, right? Which is the flag, and it's a base 64 encoded. Okay, so I can see here, I query for that, and I can see the flag CTF, and it's base 64 encoded. So if you decode this, right? If you decode this, basically you're gonna get your flag that you need to send. So base 64, I'm not sure if that's going to work because I'm the shell here. Echo, I think. Let me see. First, let this do this. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's going
that
to
you
work.
can use echo and base 60. You send like an echo and the token with the ES.
Yeah, the token here, right? Yeah.
Here,
okay.
yeah.
And pipe
and base 64 minus D. So you pipe to base 64 minus
base 64 decode or encode? I don't know. Yeah. Okay, that worked. Yeah, that's it. Awesome. Yeah, I always
just got a hallelujah from Magno. Like, yes, it worked. I'm walking out of here.
Yes, I forgot the comment. Sorry.
I always forget a lot of comments, man. It's like, I always forget. Like when I'm doing technical interviews in companies, I say, hey man, I don't know anything. Just send me some challenge to solve because I don't remember anything. I have to Google.
Yeah, I know how to Google.
Yeah, the only requirement, do I get access to the internet? That's all I want to know.
Yeah, exactly. So here you can see, right? I decoded this base 64, and as a flag, all your clusters belong to me, right? And the challenge goes on, right? This was just the first flag. We can get it even more technical and harder with that. And there are some things that you can do, like just related to the cloud. If I'm inside the cluster, from there, inside the pod, I can even query the API metadata, right? I don't need to be outside on the instance file, on the host file, on the host server, right? From here, if I query the API metadata from AWS, which is this URL here, I can get that information, right? And quickly you can see that from here, I can get the API keys from that AMI, from that EC2, sorry. I can get that as well. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do. And from that, you can get from the EC2 keys, you can use other tools such as Pacu to exploit the AWS environment with those keys and see how like what kind of permissions you have. And yeah, the thing goes on, right? Sometimes
metadata version 2.
Yeah, exactly. Use that for avoiding this kind of attack. And there are some scenarios that we did that you had to break out of the cluster, right? So here, of course, it's a misconfigured cluster that we created purposely for this challenge, right? And hopefully you're not gonna find so many clusters badly misconfigured like this, but there are some situations out there. And the idea is just if you're using Kubernetes, right, the basic thing is not exposing your API server and making sure that you're using the proper permissions and RBAC properly, so that once someone can compromise a pod or a worker node, they can't move laterally to other places, right? So yeah, I think we're out of time here, but there's much more that you can do here. Sometimes we can even hide flags inside a container that's not managed by Kubernetes, right? So you have to break out of the cluster and then use Docker to inspect the images that are running, and those images check which image is not under Kubernetes management, and go into that image and find the flag there. So it can get really hard.
Black
really
magic, man. This is black magic.
So yeah.
No wonder you're releasing songs now, Igor. It's like black magic is what's inspiring you to release songs now. But Magno, this was amazing, man. I think I do want to stress the point. I think Igor mentioned this earlier, the importance of this, and I would definitely recommend people go back and go through the demo of the challenge. Is the fact this is exactly what a hacker would be doing, and even irrespective of whether you're in the blue team, red team, gray team, black team, white team, I guess you probably are someone who would have to have an understanding of this. It's especially if someone who's starting off new. I mean, there are people who are obviously still doing this, and I think we participate in the CTF and we go to say Black Hat or any of the other conferences as well, because it almost is honing your skill. Like if you are a carpenter, you want to hone your skill of like, how do I make the perfect furniture? And it's just kind of one of those ones where, hey, what's next happening in this world of cloud and cloud native? How is that being used to kind of talk about, I guess, how someone would exploit it? So this is pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, and goes on, right? I just showed half an hour here, but usually this is part of a 3-hour workshop that I do. I did one at NorthSec and another session at the DEF CON. I did doing the Cloud Village at DEF CON there. And so we set up the environment, and then we go to attack it, and then we go to defend it. And so this is like just an overview for you, and how we can use this for CTF as well, right? We can put some flags there so that people can get some points and feel challenged to go the next level and go to the next step. So that's the goal here.
Yeah, I think Magno and I were just amazed. Oh, sorry, I was going to say Igor and I were amazed at Magno, your masterclass, man. You're just like listening over here like, wow, it's like, you're so beautiful. Just like, keep talking.
Yeah, keep talking for me when I'm sleeping. I want to hear your voice and explain about Kubernetes clusters.
Yeah, what is Kubernetes, right? Yeah.
When I go to sleep, I don't put like raining sounds or forest sounds. I put Magno Logan explaining Kubernetes clusters for me.
Okay.
Vineet enjoyed the session as well. So our LinkedIn crew is enjoying a session as well, Magno. There you go. Thanks, Vineet.
Nice.
I think this is kind of like the tail end. Before we kind of jump on, I've got a fun section, 3 questions for both of you. And but is there anything that you wanted to kind of close off as a closing statement, Igor or Magno, before we kind of go into the fun section about the whole hacking sport world?
Yes. Go ahead.
Go on.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to say that we put a lot of effort to do this, and we do this basically like, okay, yeah, now it's a company and we need to make money, but we need the sponsors, and basically all the money that we put in on the organization is to improve the event, but we do this on our own free time most of the times, right? Building the machines and doing the commentating and all that stuff. So yeah, feel free to subscribe and follow us on Twitch. And if you can join tomorrow the live event, yeah, you're more than welcome to. We have the Portuguese stream and the English stream, so whatever you like the most, we're probably gonna have some fun. Yeah.
And I think that the most challenging goal here for us in UHC is to spread this word of UHC, because everyone that watched UHC one time is turned like really passionate about what we're doing. So we have to spread this word and I really want that another companies and other people start to do the same, because I want to watch UHC, but like I'm not hating when I'm like I created this thing. My goal was to watch CTF as eSports, and now that I'm doing this, I want to watch other CTF eSports. So people start to doing this, like we are doing here. We already have a model, a benchmarking for you. So I think that this would be really good for the community, like around the world. I don't know if we have folks from China here for like that is watching us, but start to doing this. Mix the hacking CTF in esports. This thing works and help a lot of people to understand what is hacking for real.
100%, 100%. And I think I second that. At your point, Igor, once you watch it, it's hard to kind of not go back to it. Like I think I watched it once while I was commenting with Magno. I'm like going, this is super cool. More people should do this. So I'm so glad you guys are doing this as well. So all right, I'm gonna switch over to my fun questions. 3 questions, not too many. I'll start with Igor first because Magno's already done this before. So I wonder if Magno's answer have changed. What do you spend most time on when you're not working on Twitch streams, Igor, or hacking eSport? What do you do outside of this? What's the most time you spend on?
Today, I'm just focusing on UHC. It's like in my professional thing. I used to be like a security engineer for a company, like with really good salary and stock option and things like this. And I said to me, hey, I want to do this to be a thing. So I quit my job and I started to focus on UHC. And in like my personal life, I just like to watch animes and try to not freak out. This is a really good thing that I'm trying to do. Not freak out with all this thing. Yeah.
What's your favorite anime? Like Naruto or Bleach, or what are you watching?
Man, I have like a really dark taste for things, so I will not share here. It's not hentai. It's not hentai. Just
right. I'm gonna like, I'm like they're kids here, man. Like they're 16, 17-year-old kids watching the live stream. That's not infused. Like their parents are gonna be like, wait, Igor mentioned hentai. I wonder what that is. And they start Googling this, and parents are like, like, but hey, Magno, has it changed for you, man? What do you do up these days now?
I don't think it has changed. Yeah, like I don't remember exactly my answer from last time, but when I'm not working and I'm not in front of the computer, like either with my family and watching movies or doing something outside or walking my dog. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Very simple. Yeah, well, I think sometimes simple is good as well, man. Mm-hmm. But the second question that I have for both of you, and I'll just maybe Magno will go first with you this time. What is something that you're proud of, but it's not on your social media, on LinkedIn or Twitter or any of the social media streams?
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember my answer either from this one.
But that's why I'm asking again.
Sure. That's funny. Yeah, what I'm proud of is that's probably I'm not on social media anymore. It was a couple of years ago, I think. But I practiced martial arts for over 15 years. And I practice a martial art called ninjutsu or Bujinkan Budo Taijutsu from Japan. And I got up to the 5th degree black belt in that martial art. So yeah, since I moved to this city here in Canada, they don't have a dojo or a place for me to practice. So I kind of practice on my own, but because of the pandemic, I've been really slow with it.
Wow, man. So you can be a ninja then, or you are a ninja.
Yes. Yeah. I like people call me when
he's like Naruto.
Yeah. I just imagine just like throwing. What's that thing that they throw, which is like this metal pointy thing?
Yes. The ninja star.
Kunais.
Yeah. Like
as well. Yeah.
I just imagine you throwing them.
We actually learn how to do that, but that's more advanced level. It's in the beginning. It's more like a stick or a sword or the kind of thing. But there's a lot of unarmed fighting as well, and there's different it's kind of a bunch of martial arts school bundled together. That's what ninjutsu is basically. And so there's some styles that are more ground fighting. There's other ones that are more like standing and all that stuff. So yeah, I can still do some of the things, but yeah, throwing stars, I've done it before, and throwing the ninja stars, but yeah, it's
Wow.
fun. It's fun, but it's not something that you can use on the streets or to defend yourself or someone else.
Well, what about when the zombies come in from the COVID zombies, just like killing all those zombies? Like,
I have my sword over there. I have my sword
yeah.
over there so that I can use
You
it.
actually have a sword there. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, I was actually gonna say, well, I'm gonna quote Igor here. Where what inspired him to start hacking eSport. If you don't find one, start one. If you don't find a dojo, I think you should start one, man. This is a sign.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just want to make sure that I have the proper legal thing here in Canada, because I don't know how it works exactly. So before I start
Oh,
doing that,
dude, you should ask Igor. You figure it out on the way. Like,
yeah.
isn't that Igor? It's like
Okay.
the same with hacking eSport. You just figure it out on the way. Keep doing it. Eventually, you're gonna have some idea of what you want to do. Just keep doing one step after the other.
Yeah.
I'm keen to know your thing as well, Igor. What's something that you're proud of? It's not on your social media.
This is like a really hard question, right? Because I don't know, man, to be honest with you, because I'm on this thing like so much years in my life that I think that I don't have a life, tipo, that is not on social media, because like I produce content, and so I use this a lot. But I think that, to be honest with you, the thing that I'm proud today that is not on social media is like be near from my family, like when I was like a young hacker trying to have a career and professional thing. I got out of my city here in Brazil, that is Goiânia, and I goes like to another cities like São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, and cities like this to try to pursued my professional career. And I came back like 3 months ago. So like I'm really proud to be near phone for my family, because this is really good for my mental health, and I'm seeing them. And I just have two people in my family. So this is like
Right.
really good for me.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man. I think it's really. Do you feel like was COVID a reflection point, or was it just like you felt you were in a journey on your content creation journey that you could go back to your, I guess, and start living in your hometown again?
No, man. To be honest with you, it was depression. Like when like quarantine starts, I got in the really bad depression. Like, and I was, hey, what is missing in my life? And I discovered that people was missing in my life, and people that I care. So I started like to do some movements to be near in the in, of near from or near
Near
off. I
to,
don't
I
know.
guess.
Near to,
Yeah, near
yes,
to. Yes.
these people.
Yeah, and that's pretty. And it's good, man. I think 'cause I find like a lot of people have actually had a self reflection moment during COVID.
Yeah.
So thanks for sharing that, man. All right, last question. What is for you, Igor? Now, what's your favorite cuisine or restaurant that you can share?
Ish, man, I really like Japanese food. Like, I love it.
I'm not even surprised. Like, if you're into hentai, you definitely would not love it.
No, I'm not a hentai, man. People from podcast, I'm not a hentai. Just for you know.
Yeah, Igor
Oh,
is
man.
saying this, and someone's gonna raid your computer like, "Hey, all this hentai thing is." I
So,
wonder if YouTube would ban us for using the word hentai, but I'm gonna use it anyways.
so it's like I don't like sweet things like chocolate and things like this. I like lemon. I like
Oh, nice,
spice things, and I like salt.
nice,
Like the mix of three things for me is perfect. So every food that have this, like Indian food or Mexican food, I love it.
nice. Life. What about you, Magno?
Yeah, I also do like Japanese food here, but because since we moved to this city, Ottawa, just right before COVID, we haven't been able to try different places.
Right.
Only like delivery and stuff. But yeah, besides that, it's either I'm torn between Mexican food like burritos or Brazilian barbecue. So they're kind of in
Oh
between. So
man, I would love a Brazilian barbecue any day.
Yeah. I
yeah,
ate
And
shawarma today. I don't know if folks know
oh yeah,
shawarma.
yeah. Oh wait,
yeah,
Yes,
shawarma is good.
shawarma as
man,
well.
shawarma is really good, man.
Hmm.
I
Wait, did
put
you have
like
the shawarma
a
with
lot
that
of
pickle?
pepper.
Oh,
Yeah,
pepper, garlic. What's that purple
yeah,
beetroot?
yeah.
Oh my
Like
God,
Yeah,
yes. I
shawarma is
with
good.
meat. And a lot of like spice things here, and like wow, I want to eat this.
oh my
It's really
God,
good.
yes. I love that as well, man. But say that's what we had time for, and I'm curious for people who wanted to reach out to Hacking eSport and maybe even to you guys directly. I mean, your handles on the screen, but where can they reach you, man? Maybe Magno will start with you first. Where can people reach out to you for Hacking eSport or get to learn more about challenges in Kubernetes?
Sure. Yeah, I think first and foremost, either Twitter or LinkedIn. That's where I'm more active and open to receive messages from people that I don't know. But yeah, I have a personal blog or website called katanasec.com, which I post some stuff there, some articles and other things. And there's also all the videos and presentations from my previous talks. And yeah, I think that's the best way.
Awesome. What about you, Igor? Where can people find you, man? And Hacking eSport as well.
I have two social networks. One is LinkedIn and the other is Instagram. My Instagram is this one, and I think that also my LinkedIn is this one. Like, but you just have to type my name on LinkedIn on Instagram that you find me. And Hacking Sports the same. We have Twitter, we have LinkedIn, and we have Instagram. So you just type Hacking Sports and you find our people there. We have a team that's like I don't know, probably 6, 7 people here that works for Hacking Sport to make the event happen.
Nice.
So probably if you send a message there, someone will answer you, and if they don't know how to answer, they will ask me, and that's it.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, boys, for coming in. I really appreciate this. And for everyone else, this was kind of like the end of our Cloud Native month as well. So thanks for tuning in for the month. And next month, we're starting another series for cloud security careers, cyber security careers. So I'll look forward to seeing you all there. But for the moment, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Thank you.
Peace.
Bye.